Agri-Food AI, the future sound of agriculture and food industry. The future is now.
Hello, here we are with the sound of the future. Charlotte, today we are freezing.
How come? Summer is gone, but it's only fall.
Okay, but we have a special guest today who has been freezing since 1981. The CEO of Miralit Mirsha, Viktor Losó. The Miralit brand was the first in Europe to use quick frozen technologies 80 years ago. Could you look up their story in your database?
Of course. The story began 80 years ago with a state-owned company. In Hungarian, deep frozen and the Miralit brand name became synonymous since then. Miralit Mirsha Company was founded in 1981 and specializes in manufacturing and distributing a wide range of deep frozen fruits, vegetables, and pastry products. The cold storage plant began operating in 1984. Starting in 1992, the company worked as a subsidiary of the Nuremberg-based Scholler Holding and then of Nestlé Group. Since 2003, the company has been under 100% Hungarian ownership and has expanded its processing capacities by purchasing additional cold stores. And not only in Hungary, Miralit Mirsha opened a Japan office in Tokyo in 2019.
And currently they are modernizing their processes and facilities using the Monitwin model of Agri-Food AI. On today's episode, we will talk about cost-effective modernization with Viktor Losó, CEO of Miralit Mirsha, and an expert in quick frozen technologies. We also have Gergő Boromisza with us as Miralit Mirsha is modernizing and synchronizing its different facilities and equipment with the help of Monitwin, Agri-Food AI's digital twin model. Viktor, Gergő, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for your invitation.
And thank you.
Viktor, how did you find Agri-Food AI?
We found each other in a EU fund project. It was a digitalization fund, and we meet each other during that project.
Yes, exactly. And I'm very proud for this project because Miralit Mirsha is a well-known brand in Hungary. The average people use Miralit as a synonym for the deep frozen foods. Most of the people doesn't even know that it's not meaning deep frozen food, but it's a brand name. Yeah,
it's true. It's a really long history of our brand, so we're really proud of it, and that's why we are really happy to make a digitalization in the factory and improve the accuracy of the lines.
And Gergő, how long did it take to make the first Monitwin model for Miralit Mirsha?
This project was 11 months long. The problem what we worked on together to build digital twin for a blanching line, because Miralit Mirsha produces blanched, pre-cooked and deep frozen vegetables in vast amounts. So we focused on one of their biggest blanching line. It's 6 tons per hour.
Yeah, it's true. It's 6 tons per hour blanching lines.
It's pretty big. Yes,
it's a pretty long one, pretty big one. Yeah, it's a few tons itself. The machine itself. Yeah.
And how old is it?
The machine?
Yes.
Maybe 3 years old. It's a brand new machine. But what you have to know about the food industry, the car industry, the pharmacy industry is increased a lot during the decades. They find a really accurate process to get a most effective way to produce anything. But the food industry itself, because of the product itself, it's a live product. We get the raw carrots, we get the raw green peas, beans. So it's not so easy to implement any kind of efficiency of the line. We can buy machinery which has a capacity and buy a bigger capacity machine, but the sensors, the machine itself, it's not communicate with the others. So that is the difficulty, to see overall the line together and get a result, what we should do and how can we improve the efficiency of the line.
Exactly, and think about Miralit Mirsha as an SME, small and medium company with a long history. So they have different machines, purchasing and investing into new machinery as well, but different kinds. And how can we communicate with them? So some of them has no sensors, some of them has a few, some of them are capable for IoT solutions or functioning. And the next step, what we worked on, to build a digital twin, thermosensor-based digital twin for the first line, to see how can they use it? Is it useful for the industry? It was an experiment, actually, this EU-funded project.
And is it useful?
Yes, it was very, very useful. As Gergo just mentioned, normally the machines come with a few sensors, and they have their own screen to get to know what's going on inside the machines and not connected to any other. So the person definitely have to go there, see the screen, and adjust the machine accordingly. But the line what we work, it's 24 hours, even Sunday, Saturday. When the season comes, the green pea is ready to be frozen. Every 2 hours we get 20 tons, so it's a big amount. No time to stop just for cleaning, and no people who is sitting in front of the screen and adjusting the machine. So it's something far away from the current update technology.
Yeah.
And now with a digital twin, how did it help?
Gergo is more expert because he's the one who implement everything. But as I know, 28 sensors get the blancher. It was only maybe 3 inside. And please, Gergo, explain more details because he's more better.
So we focused on this blanching line. It's around 1.5 meter wide and 10 meters long, with 3 different stages, which is a preheating stage, the cooking stage, and the cooling stage, because after this line, the freezing line comes in the production. So this is 3 different stages where the actual green pea or sweet corn is processed. And as Victor mentioned, there were only, as I remember, only one sensor which controls the input, the intake of the water to get the exact temperature. But no one had the information what is actually happening in the 3 stages.
It was a black box.
Yes, it was a black
Schrödinger's box.
Well, of course, they know the input information, the quality of the vegetable. It's analyzed in the laboratory. And of course, after when it's blanched, they take quality control tests focusing on the microbiological and enzymatic stages. Is it correct and safe to freeze and after that, of course, consumed? But still, the process was a black box. And how could we optimize the temperature? And if we can't optimize the temperature, maybe a lower temperature needed only, or higher production capacity can be achieved, then we will save energy, which is a big question in the food processing industry. So that was what we are focusing on. With the 28 sensors, we built the whole area, and now we know on each stage what is actually happening, and we also were able to build up a specific diagram to see how was the actual batch blanched. And the food engineers, they know that is it a good curve, a diagram, it produces good quality, or they need to adjust the processing method. So it's quite interesting for me.
And
too.
if I would have to summarize it, just a few words, it is more cost effective, the results, because of the less steam what we can use now, less wastewater, so we can spare money again. And the quality gets better because 28 sensors help us to adjust more accurate the whole blancher. So these 3 attributes help us a lot.
Digital twin models are very good at what if. You can adjust different components and see different results without doing it in the reality. Have you experienced these qualities of the digital twin?
You mean right now?
Yes. Not yet.
No, not yet. We were focusing on the energy saving method and to see what's happening, so to give information. of course, a digital twin can predict and simulate what will be happening if we then what will happening if we do something, then what will be happening. But I think that the outcome of this collaboration or cooperation between us led to a next level what we actually now are working on, and these new functions or extended solutions will bring the functionality to Miralit Mirsha to be able to forecast. And now, while we are doing this project, I have new possibilities in my head. How could we go further? And I know that Victor has some ideas too.
Yeah, thank you. So definitely the Monitor Twin, this digital twin project, another advantage, brings us together. This is the biggest advantage, biggest success, because as Gergő mentioned, we have another project right now, and I have a vision to build up a more accurate production line, and they can help us a lot to build up more sensors to the line and see the whole efficiency of the line, and can adjust easily during online to the production. Because if you see, Miralit Mirsha is a good quality producers. We are producing not just the EU market, Japanese market, Middle East. So we are really proud to sell outside of the EU market as well. The market itself is more demanding about the quality, and the capacity could be increased easily to buy new machines, bigger capacity machine, build up the new lines, which comes with a few sensors. But if you think it overall, the line, and start to implement some sensors, you get many nice results to help you to get the best quality, better accuracy, because first of all, the timing, what we have now, the data is coming to the ERP system, but after one shift. It means we can see back and trace back what happened, but during the production we have no chance to adjust everything because we don't have an overall picture right now. Timing is important. We get the data in time. Accuracy, of course, we get more accurate data who help us to adjust the whole line more efficient way. And another things, what is also really important, the people who is working in a line, the visualization help them to feel themselves important. Even you can make some key performance indicators and help them during the production, and maybe increase the salary through this key performance indication. So overall you get happy workers on the line, so the product will be much better.
Yeah.
And is it a very expensive process? If someone is listening to us and thinking about modernizing his or her system in the factory,
no, it's contrary. So it's a if you would like to increase your capacity, your quality, that is the best way, because you can buy expensive machines, and the sensors is far cheaper than the machineries and easier to implement. It's need more timing to think overall the project, so it's more time consuming, but we have a good partner now, and that is the biggest success of this Monitor Twin project, because as Gergő mentioned, we go for the next step, and it's not a cost, it's not a cost matter, it's really just the perfect plan what we would install to the line.
Yeah, and just think about it, that in the past, the most valuable thing was gold. Then came the oil, the black gold, and now we are talking about data, and data is the new gold.
The transparent gold.
Yeah. So
invisible gold.
If management can get the information which they need in real time, they can act faster, and it lead to less downtime, higher quality, better efficiency. Of course, as Victor mentioned, on the line workers level, they need information as well. Now they don't get it because there is no feedback for them. So a solution, what we are building right now, is able to serve out all levels with the needed information, of course. And just as we talking and thinking, I just mentioning, we also automatizing the packaging lines of Miralit Mirsha. It's a very important part of the production, processing, freezing, storing and packaging different kinds of products. And right now we will get the information of the capacity, how the actual lines are producing. We know what they are producing, and we know that how many people or exactly who is working on that shift. And if we are collecting this data, and we will collecting this data a few months after, I think we will be able to predict that if they plan to produce 6 tons of green peas packaging in 300 grams packages, then we will able to tell them, you will need in this shift this man and this woman and this woman and this man.
Wow.
Probably.
Wow.
If we get enough data. But at least we will be able to forecast that with 4 people on that production line, on that packaging line, with this demand or plan, that will take 6 hours or 4 hours to reach the desired production.
Food is a really sensitive item, so the traceability is the first level to enter the market. It's long time ago exist. We have many data during the line, not just the workers, even the carton box, the foil and everything go to the ERP system. But how? By making notes, go to the ERP system and type it. So this is the way, this is the basic way how they do it right now. But of course, we already have our own barcode system, so we can print out barcode for everything. We already done it. So what we need right now, just the software who can collect the data. We get more accuracy and more timing as well. Online we can see the whole line, and as Gergo mentioned, everything will be digitalized just on time.
How long does it take to build such a complex system for you?
Well, it always depends on the complexity, of course. Right now, I think it's getting faster for us, understanding the needs of Miralit Mirsha, understanding the production as well, and getting more experienced on building a digital twin. That's why it was very important for us, this project. And before that we had some different digital twinning technology and development as well. So right now I think this project is 4 months long.
Only 4 months.
4 months.
It's pretty good. And maybe just the planning was more important, to make a plan, and your management have to be prepared what they need and where they should put a sensor. So that was more time consuming. And regarding the cost, how much is it? We have a difficult ambience because we're washing the line with high steam and everything. So we have to buy let's say expensive sensors. But if I compare sensors price and the result what we will get, it's a low cost. So I'm really happy to start as soon as possible. And I just repeat again, time was more about the planning than the whole action, right? Gergő? Yeah.
Yes, but because the engineers have to know exactly what are you doing, what are the most important points, what are the most important problems to be solved, and then can they start working, don't you?
And then find a perfect sensors, and software is another things. That is the easiest part, right, Gergő? The software.
The software, is it the easiest part?
Well,
for them.
For you, because they are working on the software, and then you get it.
Because I don't see it, Yes.
It's always some R&D part of the project to build a new twin for each line, or if it's just a data collection point, like for a room temperature and humidity sensor, it's easier pick a sensor, install it, and collect the data. But also, what we need to mention that the growing need for IT security, cyber security. So we had to design the software to be safe and be able to operate on 2 different plants and to be able to reach from the public internet, because the management, if they travel, having business meetings in different, as Victor mentioned, in the Middle East or in Japan, they still want the data. They need the data to see that everything is going well. Of course, it can be solved right now, writing reports and sending via emails, but it's better to get the real-time data and getting know that with the peace of mind we are producing.
Yeah. And Victor, what about the people, the workers? People usually are afraid that they are losing their jobs because of the arrival of the AI. But if I understand you well, people need to be more educated, get used to using these new tools, and their days will be much better and easier.
Yes, you're right, Anna. So you are hit the point. The difficulty is always the changing inside any kind of company, even in an office. If you change something, you put even a new printer, get difficulties some workers. So definitely what we've done already, we have a new human resource person who will hire more people, who is more educated and more talented to adjust and handle this kind of digital data. Already we have a tablet. The very first step, or someone have to handle these tablets. We have some people, and we will train them, and we will see how well it works. But definitely, it's also a long journey to train the people and hire more people, more younger people who is not afraid to see a touch screen and work with it.
And use modern techniques. I think if you think about a role, a job, and you see that, for me, younger people, seeing that they will use advanced technology in their work, they will be happier to take that position and work there compared to saying, okay, I'm packaging. So yes,
it's true. It's easier. On the other hand, it's easier to get a younger generation person who will work next to the line and take care of the whole process than someone who is a bit older and used to get more manual works. So it's also a good way to get younger generation to the line.
And could you recommend digital twin technology to other factories?
Yes, sure, definitely, of course. But the first step, have to sit down with the management teams and see how they can and what they need, what data they need, and then find the partners, what we had now.
Yeah. So first understand the need, to see that they have a problem. I'm saying that the moment when they have the Houston, we got a problem moment. So yes, if they understand inside the management level that we need data, we need to work differently. Of course, it can be done in the old way, the old-fashioned way, of course, but we need to change. I think SMEs need to change as well, because the multinational companies or the big ones, they can buy anything. As Victor, we are always saying, mentioning, of course, because we thinking in the same way about the industry and seeing the same. If we talk about a big company, they can buy what money can buy, and there are big machineries. But the smaller ones, the SMEs, with the steel, big production, they have to take seriously the costs, because the food industry is not a high profitable industry, because the demand is keep the cost, the food at the end of the day should be cheap.
It's a big competition, definitely, in the market. So everyone says the big production. They have bigger line in a Western European country. So every market has, every food sector has a big competitor. So we have to be more efficient, as Gergő mentioned. Yeah.
They work with their money, and you will have to be smarter than they.
Yeah, have to be smarter. And one more additional one, when you for the others who I recommend, so everyone in the food sectors to start some digitalization. Definitely another advantage, as I mentioned already. So everybody have to take part of it and see the advantage. What I mentioned, for example, the workers, the key performance indicators they get. At first, of course, changing something, it seems impossible, but they will get some nice results in the end. They will much easier to change. So that is something help us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you being here.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone who listened to the AgriFood AI podcast. I hope we could inspire you. Send us your questions, share your experiences, and we will turn them into podcasts. Keep up with the future and stay with us. With us, the future is now.
If you have any questions or problems, don't hesitate to reach out. www.agri-food.ai.
Meet us on the internet, www.agri-food.ai. And next week here on the AgriFood AI podcast. You can find us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel and receive notifications when a new episode is available. The AgriFood AI podcast is the official release of agri-food.ai. Host Anna Maronic, sound design 6. Recorded by Zoltán Mandácskó. Producer István Erdei and AgriFood AI. This podcast was created by
Trip Visual, Trip Audio.